Welcome, welcome. We're back with a pick a card reading. This is sort of a Scorpio seasonally themed reading, in case you couldn't tell by the title. I want to preface this by saying that, of course, nothing is inherently, and I know this may sound really, really triggering, but nothing is inherently negative, positive, or neutral. Everything is a matter of interpretation, perspective, and ultimately we give things meaning. So, I want to say that. But of course, still, right, we do have, um, above and below, we have north and we have south, and we have yin and we have yang. We have so-called shadow and so-called light. So, if let's say somebody is in their shadow space right now, if they're not being honest, let's say if they're lying about things, if they're just not being upfront with you, it doesn't necessarily, right, mean that it is a bad thing. There is energy, right? And so we move through energy. So sometimes it's challenging energy. And the important part is that we don't make whatever it is that they're moving through part of our personal story. So I want to preface by saying that, but I also feel guided to make this video here, this pick a card, because I feel like this is something that is is definitely at play. We are here working with shadow, we're working with light, and so if I feel guided to do a reading, obviously there are messages, and it might be something that you are sort of spiritually inquiring about. This is not, yeah, something that like was not meant to be known. I also mentioned that. So this is whatever is meant to be known, whatever is coming through from both your sort of conversations on higher planes that has been permitted by guides. So that's just a side note. Nothing is like sort of not meant to be known here. I want to say that. So let's get into it, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, let's pick here. We're gonna do 3 stacks, and so feel free to meditate here and just on something. And so we'll begin shuffling the cards. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And so funny. Of all cards, Eight of Cups and the Moon. Yeah. Well, this is all Scorpio. Yeah, this is all Scorpio and the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Cups. Yeah, this is all Scorpio. So what is what with the first stack? Is there something here that, and I want to pull on the subconscious. I want to pull on, though, as well, the sort of observed energy space. What is it that we see? And what is it that we're kind of getting? And, because it can go in many ways. Sometimes we also can, sometimes the energy is coming from different angles. And so we'd like to know that as well, right? Maybe we're sort of feeling something, or, what is the advice from spirit? Okay, we've got the second stack here. And the third stack. Okay, so feel free to meditate. We have 4 cards here upside down in the first stack. We've got 1 card that has popped out in the second stack, and we have the Magician here with actually the Wheel of Fortune, 2 cards here that have popped out together in the third stack. Something about time, thinking about something about speaking, something about a lot of communications here in that third stack. Let's clear the energy around. Feel free to meditate and see what you feel guided towards. Thank you guys for tuning in. I should probably share this link on Twitter as well. Tell you guys to follow on Twitter so that you get notified, and then I end up forgetting to post it. Well, whatever's meant to be, Okay, let me share this. On a side note, I hope you guys are all having a lovely Scorpio season. And we currently have 3 planets in Scorpio. So, yeah, it's stellium in Scorpio right now. So, yet again, we'll make use of these energies and sort of, speak deeper here. And yet again, I want to reiterate, we mentioned this at the beginning of the reading, this is, if somebody is shadowing if there's somebody is shadowing their light, if they are operating in their shadow space, it doesn't mean something personally about you. And it also is not something that is necessarily bad. So yeah, and if you observe your storyline here as a light worker, it's kind of common that you would come into people, or let's say experiences, that may hold shadow. So without further ado, thank you so much for tuning in. Love and light, let's get into it now. Is it buffering? Okay, let's get into it. Okay. Stack 1. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome. I recommend to check out the beginning of this video because this can be a little bit of a testy topic, and I'm just sort of coming from a certain vantage point when I'm reading here. So to know what my perspective is when I'm reading on this particular topic, then feel free to check out the beginning of this video. Okay, let's get into it. Let's clear it. Is there shadow here at play? What is what? Is it kind of like what's that song? Because it's all in my head, you know. Yeah, helping you ultimately identify, okay, so-called shadow and dark. So regardless of who you're interacting with at this time, regardless of what is actually going on, obviously we're talking about something here, and it is, we'll say, a certain polarity of energy. So regardless of whether or not, maybe it ends up being that, oh, you know what, I'm not tapping into my girlfriend's energy or my boyfriend's energy, or my whatever it is. Let's clear the energy right now. It can be, oh hey, maybe it's my own, or maybe it's my friend that I just hung out with a few minutes ago. Maybe it's actually that TV show I watched. Where is this energy coming from? In some way we can say it's there, it's being reflected. So this is, I think, more conversation obviously with you. Even if, let's say, you encounter somebody who is so-called lying, okay, what does that mean really for you? It's all reflective. So if we are to sort of interact with a certain type of person at a certain point in time, that's a point of a lesson, let's say reflection. Let's get into it. And I wanted to make this video actually, yeah, let's clear the energy ground. I wanted to make this video in Okinawa. I made this a similar video. I was talking about this theme, but I never posted it. It wasn't a reading, but it was a channel message. Let's get into it. 8 of Wands in reverse. Let's clear the energy. 5 of Wands upright. Okay, right off the bat, whoever you're thinking about, I feel like there's a lot going on that already is kind of like inherently naturally confusing. I'm hearing bloodlines. Okay, so right off the bat, there was definitely past life energy here. 10 of Swords in reverse, Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah, and this can sometimes be very difficult when there is another timeline at play simultaneous to what you're experiencing so-called at this moment in time. Sometimes it can be very convincing, like, oh my gosh, no, but I feel like from many different angles. I feel like they're my soulmate. Wait, I feel like they've got this vengeance energy. What is that? Sometimes it could be a passive energy. So this is something that I'm just kind of getting, and there could be a focus on even, yeah, something with the family, something in the family, something confusing. Okay, definitely when it comes to communication. We got the 8 of Wands in reverse, and we got the 5 of Wands upright. Yeah, somebody is struggling with the concept of, well, okay, let's focus on this. When we're looking at these two, we see a little bit of like something is clunky. Okay, we see the 8 and we see the 5, but we see well, they're also kind of really different numbers, right? I mean, 8 is multiples of 2, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. 5 is 5. It's one after 4. There's something that we realize is kind of not comfortable. I kind of hear it like that. Something is not quite right. So I don't really blame you for sort of feeling that there's something kind of off here. Let's get further into it though. I'm not saying that someone is lying directly to you. I just feel that somebody is going through a lot here. There's a lot here that is kind of not clear. Okay, that's the way that I can describe it. 10 of Swords in reverse. Like maybe it's that you're observing somebody in their world, and let me give you an example. Like this person can be going through something. They seem very uncomfortable just in general in their life. Like they're not at a point where they're able to really be vulnerable. Maybe it doesn't mean that they don't have the capacity or that they would not like that with you, but it's just that they're sort of consumed, possibly, definitely can be energy cords as well, and they can be here from past lives. I see that again with the 8 of Wands in reverse and the 5 of Wands upright. Definitely, I'm hearing bloodlines again. Yeah, I'm even seeing that here with the 5 of Wands. Like this can be connected to people that they know. Now, this is just right off the bat, right? Because everything is context. If someone's going through something, or if their behavior is a certain, which way, it's helpful to observe it within the context of who they are in their life. Because usually, again, it's not necessarily something just in that moment. And so, also have to mention, if someone's treating you in a certain way, they're most likely treating others in a similar way. 10 of Swords in reverse. Knight of Cups upright. Yeah, something is very awkward here. No, for sure. I mean, if you're drawn to this stack, there's something that you realize is like, is not is not there, is not talked about, is not openly communicated about, is off. It's something more though chaotic. Now with the Knight of Cups in reverse, it's something that we feel though. The difficulty with this is that we can't really even identify what it is. I see for some of you, if you chose a stack, that you're wondering, is it more like this chaos energy between me and this person, or is it between, or amongst this person and others? I feel that there is something that is really, yeah, like you caught this person here kind of in a really strange storyline. I hear it like that. Maybe that's how they feel. I feel for some of you that you're not openly communicating with this person about these things. It's just my hunch. Let's get some further clues here. 10 of Swords in reverse, 5 of Wands upright. Yeah, something is very awkward here. No, for sure. I mean, if you're drawn to this stack, there's something that you realize is like, is not something more though. The difficulty with this is that we can't really even identify what it is. I see for some of you, if you chose a stack, that you're wondering, is it more like this chaos energy between me and this person, or is it between, or amongst this person and others? I feel that there is something that is really, yeah, like you caught this person here kind of in a really strange storyline. I hear it like that. Maybe that's how they feel. some of you know this person has a lot to tell you, but they're not telling you. I feel like it's more, there's an emotional energy here, and this is a general video, so I wanna like really kind of stray from getting way too specific. I am hearing some very particular timelines here with that, but I want to like kind of avoid getting so specific. With the knight, let's clear it. The Knight of Cups in reverse. It's like there's something they maybe feel for you, but they're not telling you. Ten of Swords in reverse, but there is something going on around them. It's really actually quite challenging. Yeah. Okay. So we got this. We just pulled from the Lenormand. We have the Scythe and the Clover. Some of you feel like very lonely, out in the cold, kind of abandoned by this energy, but it's like you realize it's not really you. I feel like some of you didn't do something directly, but this is again a German video, something directly to kind of so-called deserve this treatment. But I feel like it's more abandonment. There are a lot of questions here. This is what I'm hearing that have not been answered with the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Five of Wands upright. You have the Letter and the Querent. Somebody maybe has actually held someone out. They've left them out in the cold. It's like that's maybe how somebody feels. It's like, where did they go? Where did he go? This is so awkward. I hear that with the Querent and the Letter. Something is, you're waiting on something or they're waiting on something. Now, can we have more information on what they are presenting here? Well, okay. Some of you here, this person has set it up. For some of you, you feel like you're literally hanging on the line with this person here. Okay, like you feel like they're leading you on, maybe a little bit, stringing you along, but in the sense of saying they're not being confrontational in a empowering way for you as you feel it, as you would want it. Like if it were up to you, I think that maybe you're looking in on the situation, you'd say I would want this to be way different. Maybe just in terms even simply of like communication, like, hey, are you going through a hard time? Let's talk about it. Maybe you're very different from this person, you just have a different way of sort of, your outlook is different when it comes to conflict resolution, even if it's not even between you two. The Five of Wands tells me this is way more people than just you and this individual. So yeah, by the way, if this is resonating, feel free to hit the like button. It does let me know that you guys are resonating with the content and that you do like the video. So yeah, and I want it to circulate further. If you want it, yeah, that tells me that you guys are, yeah, sort of engaging in that, wanting to get it sort of further circulating. The partner here, the Querent. Some of you, you're literally maybe even like in a relationship with this person. For some of you, there is, yeah, the book in reverse in between you two. This is a historical thing. There's a past life energy here. It's almost like, well, we cannot speak our truth until that is resolved over there, way off yonder with those people. I hear that as well, whatever that is alluding to. The important thing here is that we do not force the process here of also reconnection, maybe when it comes to certain ideals that you want to communicate with this individual. There's something you want to say to them. There's something they want to say to you. This is maybe what you're feeling, but you realize as well that it's not happening, and that's so fucking annoying. Now, I want to get further into it. You have the partner and you have the Querent on either side of the spectrum. Okay, yeah. So it tells me that something is, it's like there's something you're waiting out on with the Letter and the partner. It's like, I'm waiting for that very particular maybe letter from them or that message or that confirmation or, and what you realize is that you don't have it. Let's pull further. The Bear in reverse. You're trying to remain hopeful. This is what I'm hearing. Now, I want to pull here on the ultimate energy that's projected, because I see this as sort of the energy in general surrounding the interaction. I want to pull on what they actively sort of like consciously present, and that is controversy. Coffin in reverse. Yeah, so they don't want to end it. This is what I'm hearing. Yeah, they do not want to be seen in like a negative light with you. Maybe they're purposely holding you out for like a very particular reason. Yeah, and oftentimes if somebody is not communicating, there's a reason. Usually, yeah, there's something, and given that we have the book in reverse, it's like there is a lot maybe that they would want to communicate, should they communicate with you. What I'm kind of even getting almost is that there is like this sensation of pressure to communicate, because it is a lot that they feel they need to get off their chest. Even we have the book in reverse. This is again general video. The book in reverse, the Coffin in reverse. This is okay, almost a sensation or scenario where it's like, okay, like, because it would be so important to them or so important to have this sort of reunion, they are going to put it off. It's something like that. Like, think about it. If it were something so simple, they would have, hi, bye, not a problem. Like, here, this is what's going on. This is something that has way more of, a way more involved to it. Okay. And the Heart in reverse and the book in reverse. Even if it's like, hey, I can't be participating in this space because of so-and-so. Like, this is something that maybe, yeah, it would take a lot of bravery for them. Now, let's clear the energy. What is going on in the back end? What is, yeah, is there shadow energy? Let's clear it. Let's clear it. Right after that, I'm gonna say no. What I am seeing here, I am getting that there is a reflection here with your own energy, big time with the Five of Pentacles upright and the Empress in reverse. This comes down to the concept of self-worth. This is really important for, I feel, for you to tap into and really ask yourself, what does it mean to feel empowered with somebody? What does it mean to not make someone else's so-called experience my story? Even if it is subtly where I say, they're treating me kind of like, in a neglected manner, or they're sort of abandoning what I feel I need from them. Is that really what's happening there? Or are they maybe kind of going through something in their experience that they're not available to sort of extricate themselves from quite yet? Possibly, possibly. And it's always for you to contemplate. This is a journal video, but they have the Chariot upright. And this tells me that this is something karmic through and through, like for certain. This is something that has, yeah, this has roots to it. This is, yeah, when we're talking the primary energy, this is something that comes down to the concept of confidence, the ability for somebody to experience certain things and then communicate about them. That's something that maybe they're working on. That's a lesson that they're working through. They may be the type that takes the pressure on, the load on from even their ancestrally. They take the energy on from their family, possibly as well, with the Chariot upright in the sort of the back end energy with the Eight of Wands in reverse and the Five of Wands upright. Yeah, they want to be. They want to make people happy. This is for some. They want to be. They want to make people happy. They want. But what does that even mean? Right? We're talking in terms of the karmic energy. Happy. What is happy? Okay, we're talking in terms of ascension. It's about the sort of the transparency, the authenticity of the equation. We'll say. The Chariot, okay, is speaking of history. It's speaking of lineage. It's speaking of literally parents, upbringing, childhood. There could be things that they haven't yet made peace with, things that they're still needing to manifest as they feel it, and this is not easy for them. This is what I'm hearing with the Chariot upright, as they see it, and they're not ready to confront it. In terms of communication, yeah, maybe they have a letter here. They have a letter that is so-called written but hasn't been really, they haven't understood, they haven't really confirmed how they want to communicate this message to you. This is something maybe a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, with the Chariot, this is something more, I'm seeing something more maybe even related to finances, like even a little bit of like, even like of something public, like they feel like they need to be of a certain, financial status, or however. The reputation here is a question, but it is more also latent. So maybe they don't actively want to come out and just like say, yeah, this is what I'm going through. I value things like, my legacy, the history, my family. Maybe they don't even realize it. Yeah, this is more subconscious. Let's clear the energy around. Now, getting back to your energy though, with the Empress in reverse and the Five of Pentacles upright, I see that you are really paranoid here, freaking out, making it sort of to the point where it's actually affecting possibly even your health. This is for some. This energy is actually feeling like very reflective for some reason. I see you taking, and this is obviously, yet again, karmic. There's a reason for why maybe you encountered this individual. It's not random. Let's clear the energy around you. Yeah. Yes. Tell me more about the Chariot and the Empress. Okay, somebody feels like they have to be involved in whatever this is. I'm hearing that between the Empress in reverse and the Chariot upright. Like there is something here. There's definitely residual passive energy where you feel like you have to be somehow interacting within this context. What's interesting, there could be something in the synastry chart when it comes to something in synastry chart when it comes to the archetype of the moon. The first house, I'm hearing the fifth house as well, but I said the first house, the fifth house, those are fire houses. The fourth house, the moon, the icy, the archetype of Cancer. There's something going on here with that for sure. It's like there is a yeah, it's like almost as if you feel like you have some sort of obligation here as the Empress in reverse. There could be the concept of children or fertility. Someone, it's like you feel like you want to be there for them. It's very interesting because the Empress is a very feminine sort of oriented energy. It is, yeah. But obviously, with the precedence of also Yang energy, we cannot really have like masculine without feminine. So just because the Empress is not just so-called feminine, there is a very strong masculine energy as well to her. This is the divine feminine energy as well. We can see in a sense. The Empress is ultimately Aries. Some can say Taurus. So yeah, just a side note. But the Chariot upright, it's very interesting because this is also very feminine energy. We're looking looking at the moon, we're looking at Cancer, the fourth house. There's something that you feel you need to be to this person. There's something you feel you need to bring out of you almost to this person, but it's almost like that's not your duty. I hear it like this. It's like as if it goes back to this person, like they have to remain in a state of experience with this archetype. Very interesting. You must have really strong overlap contacts between maybe your moon and their south node, possibly it can be, or something of that nature, the nodes. But anyways, getting back to it, let's clear. Yeah, Empress in reverse. So there's something here. Yeah, I see that this is something here you feel. I am getting it more as like an impulse, like truly a past life energy, like something of almost like an energy that comes up and out of you, like something that you don't even consciously recognize you want or you're trying to do within the context of this connection. There is a lot of passion and heat here. I see you want to share it, and when you are feeling you're not able to, that is really painful. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. With the Five of Pentacles, I see that you do have a lot of love for this person, but you almost realize that the context is not appropriate yet. Yeah, no, for sure. Like maybe, but not in the sense of saying like, oh, that was a mistake, but like you kind of, it's almost like a glitch, you know? It's like, oh, I'm not, okay, it's not meant for me to like give that to that person. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that you do not want to be the Empress upright with them. Okay, absolutely. It's just that, you know, it's they have to have that experience. What is that about? Oh, so, you know, there could be a past life energy where there is something that was really like held out on, and it's like, okay, let's just give an example. Maybe there was a past life energy where you literally, or I'll say, so somebody here, they didn't say what they felt. They did not give to that one person what they wanted to give to that one person. Okay, yeah, let's clear it down the right side of the throat chakra, and and the throat chakra in general. Something was, you feel like you lost an opportunity. Now, that is a presiding energy space that needs to be corrected karmically. You cannot be the one to come in the next lifetime, so called, and do it for them. You might be feeling that they are feeling that karmic energy of the need, the tension, the push to pull to push through the karma, if that does make sense. This is something, though, that they need to move through, and it is a birthing process. It is very challenging with the Chariot upright. This is something that they need to be brave with, and I think that you realize that. You're not going to let it sort of impact your inner Empress energy. Your status as the Empress does not change based on how somebody acknowledges their connection to the divine. I'm here in this sense. And this will come down to realizing my family doesn't define me. My past doesn't define me. My karma also doesn't define me. My bravery does, though. It is where I make conscious moves, where I make changes, and I transform, I transmute. So they need to see themselves, I think, ultimately as a healer. I hear it as well in this way, of their own life, of their own, again, I'm hearing karma, of their own experience, and that will be then reflected back to you. It's not really the other way around, if that does make sense. The way you'll know how you're operating right now with this energy is, are you feeling empowered? Or are you feeling drained? If you're feeling drained, then it's almost like you keep trying to put your coins in the jukebox, okay, to get something out of it, but the currency isn't quite right because they still need to observe how they're going to surrender. I hear it like this, to themselves in that space. Yeah, so this is really important. I think that on some plane you do realize this. Some of you maybe have stepped away. You've realized definitely you might have had an absolute almost dark night of the soul at a certain point with the Five of Pentacles upright and the Empress in reverse. But yes, and you, yeah, it was at the point where you said you feel like really abandoned. You felt like you were out in the cold, like something wasn't there for you in the way that you were there for it. And again, that's part of the karma. So, but yeah, absolutely, like yes. I'm hearing you have to be patient. This is what you feel. Maybe you feel like it's not in the sense of saying I don't need to force their growth and their transcendence. Yeah, it doesn't mean, you know, on standby. You know, it's not about codependence. Again, the Empress upright is definitely right. Nowhere near codependence. In the tragic sense of it. Who is this? Thank you so much, Edison, for your donation. Love and light. Thank you guys for your support. This is more though. Okay, a matter of healing and transmuting the need to become the Empress in the context of a counterpart. Ooh, very interesting. Yeah. Let's clear the energy. By the way, guys, if I don't catch the super chats, it's because I'm trying to focus on channeling here. So just as a side note, yeah, it's going by very quickly. We are moving through a lot of dimensions of energy here. So, so hopefully if it's going by quickly, you can slow the speed down by clicking the dial at the base of the reading after this video has posted. Now let's clear the energy. Yeah. Okay. Now, the dog upright, the garden upright, the star upright. I feel like you went from, like, "This is an absolute disaster." You went from, like, "Oh my god, like, they're treating me almost like trash," but I see it as a perspective. It is the point at which you say, "I do not matter within the context of this person. I matter because I am who I am no matter the context." And no matter the person, this is where you stand in your light regardless. I hear it like this. So if you have already moved on, know that this is your confirmation. I would again be really surprised, okay, if you had absolutely no idea. I don't see this as like a petty sort of like, he's hiding his like car from me. I don't know what that's alluding to. Let's clear it. Mm-mm. This is not petty. This is not petty hidden stuff. This is this is more like this is more something yeah, this is more something that needed to be balanced, but in a very particular way, and yeah, yeah, definitely. Mhm, mhm. Yeah, some of you are very frustrated because you know that you have something that you wanna create. Maybe you're very empathic as well. You realize that you have so much potential with this person or in this particular context. This can even be an industry for a small number of you, but for many of you, this is something that's a frustrating part because you see it, it's like, there's no question. Yes, I'm hearing starseed origin. You take it as you will. It's clear. Starseed origin. For some of you, yeah, no, you see the karma even actually for some of you. Yes, yes. And you try to even maybe even tell this person, warn them. I feel like again, it's yeah, you got it. Yeah. Yeah. They are not available, like, if we actually think of it in terms, like, literally. Okay, take a look. The 8 of Wands in reverse and the 5 of Wands in right. This is what came out. That's a lot of energy. They are going through a lot. Yes. This is something that we're just talking simple energy. It's like they cannot really show you how they feel about you. And really, it's not about that, right? Like, you do not need that, anyways. This is what I'm kind of getting very strongly as a message. Like, it's not even about that. Like, so why even wait, right? For that so called confirmation, right? It's like, I know he loves me, but like, or she, however, or they are in. I know that they love me, but like I'm just gonna wait on the side of the road for them to just kind of like have the time to like come and tell me that. It's like, what? Okay, so that is the karma on your end, I got Empress in reverse, and it's all reflective. The Five Pentacles are bright. This is you pulling your Empress energy to you, back to you, and harnessing it, and being really sort of patient with it in the sense of saying, I don't have to channel it where I feel I don't have it. In other words, you're not going to give yourself, okay, to situations and people where you feel like you need their confirmation because you feel lack. If that does make sense, let's clear it. It might be a little bit convoluted. You might want to watch this again a few times. Yeah, because the message is kind of like there are different sort of wormholes, we'll say, with that. But the Empress in reverse and the Five of Pentacles are bright. There's something that you feel anyways. And the way you'll know what this is before you met this person, okay, I feel like you did not feel the challenge that you do maybe or you have over time within the context. Thank you so much for your donation. I'll take a look at who that is in a minute. The Chariot. Yeah, this is you'll know because you were almost like maybe at the height of your game. You were like, maybe you were feeling your Empress energy upright. And then this circumstance came along and then you were like, "Wait. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a little switch. It's not you and you know it. I think that's the key. That is the key right there with the Empress in reverse. Very important. So I think it's more the approach, it's more the process, it's more the method, and less of like, yeah, like what is it actually and where are we actually? And that can be very challenging here in the 3D because we see a lot of opportunities for manifestation, for transcendence, and for yeah, and interaction period. And but then we don't always have the message to deliver yet. Interesting, like you feel almost even for some of you that you don't have something that you need to give back to them for them. Oh, it's very interesting. Yeah, you feel like something is delayed. Well, again, nothing is delayed. There's a reason for everything. The experiences they experience, the experiences you experience, and those that you come together with. Everything is meaningful. And so many times we come back to have, right, certain experience, we say, whoa, okay, that so needed to happen before I could even interact with that person ever again. And that was so obvious. Doesn't mean that necessarily you realize that yeah. So now in the moment, right, so called consciously, and yeah. But this is, yeah. So I feel this almost like, I know he's just got to give me the damn letter, and then I can just like freaking like go back and we can go back and forth. And do we say fork? Back and fork yet? Um, Yeah, it's like, well, maybe they're not being intimate, for example. Let's clear it. Yeah. So there's obviously, yeah, there's a reason for that. For some of you feel like this person is giving you gifts instead, and that's making you feel not good. You feel like this person's not giving you truly their heart, yeah. But I feel like you even know what they would want to give you, even if they were in a space to give it to you, if that does make sense. Like, yeah, there's this moment where you say, I realize, I know, the letter upright. So my question is, where does the Empress go when she's not actually there? When she realizes, holy shit, I'm gonna check out of this hotel where I thought I had to like, have this experience right here, right now with this person. That may be the karmic impulse, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say that you had a past life connection with somebody, and maybe it ended kind of in a little bit of a strange way. Okay, maybe you guys were standing outside of a train station. Just I'm seeing a big clock here. Let's say that you were hanging out outside of a train station, and you really wanted to say something really important to one another, and then one person had to leave. Okay, and so yeah, so let's just give that example. In the next lifetime, let's say, when you are interacting with this person, and you definitely want to look at your south node energies for that. Um, when you interact with this person again, you may sort of feel like you want to go back. Okay, you want to go back to that train station. It doesn't mean that you are needing to do something very particular. Maybe you take it as well. It depends on the karma, the karmic interaction. Maybe at a certain point you did need to do something. Did need to say something. But the point when you start feeling drained is when you know that your time karmically is up in terms of trying to absolutely resolve it. That's when you know that you're putting almost like too much in, and that's part of the lesson as well. So it's all sort of, yeah, so don't ever be like frustrated, but yeah, with yourself with that. But the Empress and the Five of Pentacles, this all lessons, in other words, right, to say it in that way. But let's clear the energy. Yeah, so but you might feel this sort of like this pull, like, because you almost feel like something is going to happen there. It's kind of like an epiphany energy, but it's not active. It's something passive, right? It's almost like I feel like, I want to like maybe go to the shore. I hear that. Like I want to go to the water, like to the shoreline. I feel like, and you have a vision, like like, oh, yeah, a memory. Even I hear it like this, like an epiphany. Like I think that they're going to propose to me there. That is maybe the impulse karmically that they want to give themselves to. But it doesn't mean, right, that you got to stand there and be the one to yeah, this is not, yeah. So it's more just like you're picking up maybe on the astral residue, possibly. This sounds weird, but yeah, I mean, this is what I'm getting. Like it's sort of like a it's almost like you're tapping into their energy of what they wish they could do, what they want. Yeah, and so let me get the charger really quickly. But that can be very, very hard because karmic interactions in 3D can be like super challenging. Because, especially if you're very empathic, because you are feeling so much going on at different times in different ways. And it's really like you have to sort of sift it through and sort of come down to something very particular. And then you still have to operate in 3D and sort of define, well, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to express myself in this dimension, given what I know, given what I am able to tap into, the energy space of. So, yeah, and it really takes balance. Some of you, maybe you've been feeling actually imbalanced. And so you want to look at your health here. I feel like Spirit is saying that's a guide for you. That's a measure for you. How do you feel here actually physically? Like, are you focusing on yourself? Are you doing self-care? Are you feeding yourself? Are you nourished? Is your root chakra grounded? Are you literally investing in yourself? That's your meter, okay, in terms of how you are also contributing to the karmic interaction. So the Five of Wands upright, yeah, and so the more that you empower the Empress upright within you, this is going to be something that, it's not that it's going to necessarily change the energy, but of course everything is connected. I'm hearing it like this, like this is more like, it's not going to change the energy for the sake of the energy, but it is necessary. Yeah. Okay. It's indirect. So I'm seeing hyper gates of energy. This is kind of interesting. I'm seeing like you communicate with this individual on different levels. Imagine that you have sort of like literally like you've got veins, okay, that move. If you imagine you are like one body with this person, it's, I know, a little bit abstract, but I'm getting this vision here from spirit. Imagine that you are one being with this person, but you are sort of like two beings. And there's sort of like a hyper passway. I see that like a bridge almost that connects you. There's a lot of information that moves through. Okay, imagine through these little like sort of veins. Okay, there are a lot of like synapses. It's not always so cut and dry. Like me being the Empress is then going to make him notice me and then make him want to be with me. No, 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 no. It's like there's so much more happening. The Empress archetype is here in 3D. This is not really the conversation happening on, let's say, equivalent planes of like, let's say 5D and beyond. It's not really like so cut and dry like that, if that does make sense. So it's not about being like, I'm going to be the Empress so that I'm the Empress so that we can then reunite. If that does make sense, it's more the sort of the vibration of literally, and if you, we're obviously going to zoom it out and say this is collective ascension. This is obviously right, the whole, as we raise the energy in general and we ascend as a collective, okay, things just sort of, they fall so called into place, if that does make sense. What is meant to be will be, things will flow where they need to flow, and things will be cleared where they need to be cleared. So this is a matter of you really grounding, okay, and connecting to your inspiration. I hear that as well, so that you can also have more to talk about. Interesting, I hear that. Yeah, so the drama energy, the unhealthy energies, again, related to the physical body, this is something that you'll know if that's your vibe right now, or however, that it's not going to be yours. I hear that. Ooh, so maybe you're taking on the karma of others. It can be as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's clear the energy. We're going to move into the next stack. Any other notes here really quickly? Yeah, no, this is, yeah. And so that also goes though for the, how do we say, complementary energies to this space. So let's say, in terms of how others are looking in on the energy space, you don't really want to take that on. What strikes me is that you have two fives as well. I wanted to mention this actually, 5 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles. You have the Pentacles, they have the Wands. It's almost like you're looking on, it's like somebody who watches a character in a movie and is sort of like feeling so empathic to what they're experiencing that they're literally feeling like they're that person now. That is the karma, I feel. And it's like, yeah, you don't want to get into like, you trying to understand, like you trying to simulate their reality even in a certain way. I feel like I'm hearing from spirit that that's not really the direction that you want to go in, and the way you'll know that is because you'll start feeling the Empress in reverse. Okay, I hope this is like clear and not like too confusing. It's a lot of information, but the Empress in reverse, and again, feel free to come back to this reading, watch it a few times and digest it in different states of mind, maybe even, yeah, you'll derive different things from it in different sort of waves. Now the 5 of Pentacles are bright with the Empress in reverse. Yet again, one more note here. Yeah, there's something that maybe even like you're taking on and you don't realize it. Yeah, and so it's just kind of consuming your energy, your force field. And that though can be not even like, let's say, related to who is them, but the energy equations I'm hearing that they are there to solve. Wow. So they're interacting with other people. This could be family members, something karmic, so you just don't want to get maybe involved in that, is what I'm hearing. Let's get into the next talk. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, and who's to say that there's separation of energy, right? I mean, yet again, right? In a sense, you can say, well, we are sort of connected. Like what it is that, I'm going through. Okay. So you being involved but from a different vantage point, if that makes sense, like indirectly. So doing self-healing, again, helps everybody, right? On the storyline. I'm hearing it like that. Let's get into it. The stack 2. Let's clear the energy in round 3 of cups upright. Okay. No. Right off the bat, I'm getting this energy. This person is actually really upfront with you. If anything, it just irritates you. That's what I'm hearing. But let's get further clues. What are they? What is it that they are expressing? This person can be kind of more childlike at times. They're not giving you the attention that you're really seeking. They're not sort of being intentional with you as you feel it. They're not really being like as you feel it up front. Maybe in your terms, from your perspective, it's a matter of being upfront. Maybe it's more like, yeah, like they maybe hang out with their friends a lot. I see that, or there's just a lot of like maybe they're looking at their phone, for example, while they're hanging out with you, kind of vibe. There's just something that's not as deep as you would like. Let's clear it. I feel just this is a message coming through. They're actually really intimidated by you. I see that there is a little bit of a mismatch here of energies in the sense of saying that someone here has very high expectations when it comes to like something very specific that the other individual is not really maybe aware of, one, or two, really well versed in, and that might be more subconscious. Like let's say you come to this person, you say, hey, I don't really like that we're not communicating. Maybe they don't understand what that means. Maybe to them they feel like you guys are communicating, if that makes sense. So love language energies, we can say. That's just what's coming through off the bat. I feel like you're somebody who has a lot of water in your chart, whoever you're dealing with. like, you feel almost that they're kind of being fake with you, 3 of Cups upright, or there's something that's not deep enough for you, but then you take it as, like, something you're skeptical about, or yeah, and then you guys get really irritated at this person. I see for some of you, you got so irritated at this person for that. It's almost like something is not clicking, or you're, yeah, and it might, I'm gonna be, this is again triggering reading. You might be trying to control something here. Yeah, it's like you keep trying to control like their behavior, maybe even their friends. Like, why is he talking to you like that? Why is that going on like that? Yeah, because you're trying to understand, like, okay, the Page of Cups up, right? Yeah, they don't give you something very specific for some of you. For some, okay, Seven of Cups. This is somebody for some of you who, okay, all right. I feel like, listen, this is up front. What you get, what you see is kind of what you get with this person. Yeah, like in the sense of like, they're not, if anything, what pisses you off is that they don't make the effort to try and change it as you see it. I feel this person's not really like aware though. It's one of those classic moments where you say, "Hey, it should be so obvious. Like, I told you that that really pisses me off. That's really irritating." Or like, "That's not my value. Why do you keep wearing that shirt?" I hear that. I don't know what that's going to know. Maybe okay, you take it as well. Something is triggering to you. That was what I'm getting. And then it's like they're kind of like they're not really identifying why it is you feel like that. Ooh, so maybe it's more of like, yeah, the back end, like not like, hey, don't do that, I don't like that, but like what is going on actually with you when it comes to that trigger for yeah, there's a trigger here for sure. Briss in reverse again. So very similar to the first stack. Definitely go check that out. Some of you feel this person, oh, 5 of Wands again, showing off. Like I feel this issue is communication based primarily. I don't get their like, if anything, they want to impress you. Yeah. They feel it's like hot. Yeah. Like, look at this guy in the Three of Cups card. He's like looking over, like, I feel like he's looking at you like, hey, like, oh shit, why is she mad again? It's like something like that. Shit, wait, like, why is she like telling me to get off of like the stage with my friends? Like, they don't understand why you feel that way in the core of it. Let's clear it. They don't get it. They don't understand what you're looking for. I hear that as well, like, really, actually. Yeah. But then it's like I feel like there needs to be a lot more patience maybe on both ends when it comes to actually like or well, okay, we're gonna get into it, but explaining like actually, but hold on a second. For some of you, yeah, they don't understand. It's like kind of there's a slot. Then I see you react with the Queen of Swords, like hostile, like pissed, like very, very angry with this. With the Queen of Swords upright, like you assume it's almost like you assume. So there is association with that too. Let's pull further into the Queen of Swords. Okay, there might have been a few experiences. Like, okay, how do we say this? There might have been a few experiences where this person maybe reacted in a certain way, or they did something very specific that you didn't resonate with, and you let them know about that. And so now it's almost like you're hypersensitive. It's like, are you going to do that again? Like you're quick. I feel like you're at your limit. Some of you feel well because you're in the Queen of Swords upright energy with the Empress in reverse and the Page of Cups upright, upside down. Like it's almost like you feel this is not fair. For some of you, you feel this is not fair. I hear that. Yeah. You feel slighted, or you feel sort of embarrassed, or you feel kind of like thrown under the bus a little bit, like with the Queen of Swords upright, Empress in reverse. But then it's like I feel like neither one of you are getting down to like the true why. All you guys really see, I'm hearing you're talking about really as well. All you're really talking about, pointing out, is like you're with your guy friends again, or like you're doing this again like this, or you're not even like making eye contact with me, or you're but there's not enough patience. So there's something here with the Queen of Swords. Why are you in the Queen of Swords right now? Can we get more on that? Some of you, this is something going on with your business. Yeah. Okay, okay, the Chariot. Some of you are dealing with a lot going on. It's maybe with your business, something going on in your personal life. I would bank on it that you've literally got something going on here when it comes to your finances as well, maybe your health. It's like some of you are actually tired. You don't have time to be sweet. I hear that. You don't have time to be like goody goo anymore. You just don't have time for this. You're at the point, but they don't understand that. It's like the classic, like, I'm literally like so tired. And then it's like, finally you have a meltdown, blow up about that. And then it's like, that person was like, I didn't even know. It's like, well, there's a little bit of that possibly. Well, like you should have known, like you should have, kind of vibe. Like, but I don't think that that was really communicated directly. Is there a passive energy? But I feel like you feel you're being direct because you're kind of being cold. Maybe you're reprimanding certain behaviors here, but I don't think that that's communicating fully to this person why you feel that way. Again, I'm getting that this person is not really Like, this is very hurtful even at times with the Three of Cups upright and the Queen of Swords, not saying that you shouldn't communicate, right? Obviously, with the Hermit. Yeah, they don't know if you what you're saying or what you want, or if they wanna impress you. This is for some. Ace of Wands upright. I feel like there's a lot of programmed energy, like, they're maybe programmed in a certain space to think, like, "Okay, to behave this way is attractive, like, she should be happy to see me with my friends, like, I'm cool, like, I got, like, a lot going on in my life." I hear it like that. You're not feeling this way? I feel like there's a lot of just, like, drama and, like, romance-ish. I hear that. But you're also feeding off of it? Like, you're kind of thriving on it at a certain point because it's maybe a deflection of these energies you're experiencing personally with yourself. Like, well, I wanna know why you're so focused on the Three of Cups, but, like, you're not even looking at them. It's like, why be the Queen of Swords if that's something that's pissing you off? Why not go move back into your Empress upright to feel better? If that doesn't make sense. Chariot upright, Five of Pentacles upright, Ace of Pentacles upright. Why are we deflecting the energy? I'm hearing it like this. I know this might be triggering, but you take it as you will. Three Cups upright, yeah. It's like, why would the Queen of Swords listen, why would the Empress upright, okay, which is the divine essence of the inner feminine divine energy, why would she turn into the Queen of Swords? Go through all the trouble to be the Queen of Swords upright for the Three of Cups upright. Does that make that tells me there's something else going on here with the Five of Pentacles that maybe we want to address. Now, can we tell yeah. Can we tell them about that? Maybe you feel like you can't open up to them about that. So I feel like they're so what spirit, what is the answer to that kind of? Okay, well, you do have to kind of be patient. I feel like you guys both may at times have egos. It's like that moment, let's clear it. It's like when a dog is being kind of aggressive, like you don't want to be aggressive back. Like it's they're not going to understand why you're yelling at them, and then it's just going to get like tense, like tension energy. This is truly like training a dog, I feel, in some ways, like or training an animal, the subconscious mind, the mind. There's something here that's uncomfortable. Maybe you just don't want to deal with it. I hear that with the Five of Pentacles and the Chariot and these events. It's like, well, I just don't want to deal with it. I just wish he wasn't the Three of Cups. It's like, but that's not the answer, right? So there's something here because I just see your back is turned. Okay, there's something behind you. It's like we need to first address this. Maybe it's your foundation with the Chariot and the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. Is this helpful, by the way? Is this like very triggering? Okay, Page of Pentacles in reverse at the base of the Chariot upright. Yeah, this is something that. Do you have somebody else that you are missing? I even hear like that could be a family member. Some of you may have an association with a certain type of person. You're like, just don't be like that guy. I hear that. And so you bring in that energy, right? And it's like, well, then we have to do the past life trauma root chakra healing with that mantra. Let's clear it. We have to do that. Otherwise, we're going to always be channeling that energy because it remains in these different experiences. Let's clear it. Like I see you're sort of like challenging. Okay. This is a trauma energy. I see that with the Queen of Swords bright in the sense of saying like you're scared. I see it like this. It's like you're worried. Are they gonna be like that? Is that what they're gonna do? But then I think it is a matter of feeling grounded with this concept so you're not running from it, if that makes sense. Like trying not to find it somewhere, if that does make sense, right? So understanding what that really means to you, the Father of Wands upright, Six of Cups reverse. Some of you maybe had a very challenging upbringing or something with a father figure. Something wasn't pleasant to you. Maybe you associated, let's clear it, something about like abandonment with the Six of Cups in reverse and the Father Wands right. Like something where you felt also like somebody gave you something and they took it away. Yeah. So, matters of worthiness. Yeah. So again, same concept. They're not going to give you the Empress of Bright. You are the Empress of Bright already, and then you interact in that space, right, with their divine feminine energy as well. So they cannot sort of acknowledge for you something they don't acknowledge within themselves, and they do have the Emperor. So this is very interesting. Yeah, this is. I feel they're very young. They're not used to. Okay, and this is not talking about age. It's about maturity, so called, in terms of harnessing the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies, the yin and the yang. Let's clear it. Yeah, they have to understand their emperor energy as well, if that makes sense, and how they want, like, they don't, yeah, they have to understand why they want that with you. I hear that, yeah. Like, they don't understand what the purpose is of the emperor. I'm hearing it kind of like this, but always take it as you will. Yeah. Five of Pentacles. It's really like an open wound, like, until we really sort of, like, close it up. Yeah, Eight of Cups and the Six of Cups. Yeah, this is something related maybe to family. It could be something in the bloodline. I hear that as well. In the ancestral DNA. This is for some of you, Ace of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. It's almost like I just want to find like my knight in shining armor who's like not going to make me feel that way and I'm not going to have to fear that. It's like, well, why have the fear to begin with? It would be so much easier. You wouldn't have to carry it with you in your luggage, right? This is kind of what I'm getting at. Instead of having to turn into the Queen of Swords of Right, like having to validate everything and like fact check everything and like make sure this person is like honest and whatnot and like kind of paranoid about their every move. This is for somebody with the Three of Cups upright. Let's clear it. If this is resonating, can you guys hit the like button? It would be much easier to just always feel, embrace, remember that you are the Empress, to be the Empress. It's so much easier, truly, to just be and to embrace the vibration rather than fighting it through the karmic lens. I hear it like this. So this is maybe, yeah, this is a lesson. It's like, well, all right, I want to like heal this karma. Okay, with the Five of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, like, all right, let me heal the karma so I don't have to carry it in my freaking luggage because it gets heavy. You know what I'm saying? Five of Pentacles are bright. And it will not just be this person, it will be many persons. It will be many situations. Okay, it's going to be like something that, because yet again, it's something that it's like you're literally it's like you're taking it in your luggage, and it could be not even your energy. Maybe it's a matter of coming down to it. Yep, Three of Swords, something that you associate with something. You know, maybe for example, this is a relationship in the past. It's just a matter of coming down to it, tracing it, saying, well, what is it that I am literally fearing that this person would do, that this person would show up with, that this person would become? What is it actually? Not in the sense of saying like, let's experience it, right? And wonder, but what is it actually? And to sort of watch it in an observed state, okay, where you're able to just do that, observe it in a detached sort of motive and say, well, why? Okay, now why am I carrying that? Why do I carry that vibration with me still? Why do I continue to carry that? Because yeah, if you are the Empress upright, you don't really acknowledge, okay, the theme of the pain of consciousness when it comes to your empowerment. This is for some of you, the Three of Swords are bright, Ace of Pentacles are bright, and the Five of Pentacles are bright. Yeah, for some of you, this is something with your family. Can be, or past life energies where you had something associated with marriage. Very, yes. Yeah. You have this, you know, I'm hearing anchor cord. Some of you, maybe you had like historical experiences where you were married, they left you, and yeah, let's clear it. And the Five of Pentacles are bright. So it's just like, let me just figure out what's so heavy in my luggage. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, yeah, it's for the sake of saying, what is it, to just kind of observe it? Because the minute that we observe it, we shine light on it, then it is no longer held in the shadow space, if that makes sense. Weighing on the subconscious can feel very uncomfortable. It can be very unsettling. And that's where we take with us that trauma, that root chakra pain, I'm hearing that as well, into new connections, other connections that it's not relevant. So it's sort of like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're, yeah, it's like you want to every so often go through your luggage and say, are all of these things that I'm taking with me like still serving me in this new dimension? And is this a past life thing? Like, am I still carrying the flip flops from like the Bahamas when I'm really actually wanting to live maybe in like, you know, I don't know. I'm hearing Timbuktu. I hear Tallahassee to take you to go. Like, yeah. Or does it not serve me? So, and is this maybe something that I picked up along the way? Maybe that I, you know, observed in another. It could be a movie you watched even, you know. So it's just a matter of following the so-called fear, observing it, and then shining light on it so that it is not something that you do not understand, that you repress, but that you still sort of water as a seed in your garden. Let's clear it. Yeah, because this is something that I feel like, I don't want to say you're ignoring it, but yes, it's almost, there's a something. Yeah, defensive energy as well. Maybe sometimes it's, yeah, you don't want to like actually like walk and talk about it. I hear that. Interesting. I don't know what that's alluding to. You got the Eight of Wands and Nine of Wands. Yeah. Like there's been some normalcy. Again, I feel like it's kind of the vibe of like, it's kind of simpler like to not do the root chakra healing, but yet again, like I feel like it's just karma. Like the universe will bring experiences to you enough to be like, hey, do you have something in your luggage? Like that's really, yeah, kind of like the relationship with soulmates, and the hardest ones, you feel like they know what we really got in our luggage, and they're just kind of like always pointing at it. And it's like, okay, am I ready now? Am I ready now? Am I going to point it out now to myself? Am I going to, yeah. So it's just kind of interesting. Yeah. Soulmates can be like the TSA agents. Yeah, they can. And you know, so that's maybe for some a message. But the King of Pentacles are bright, the Hierophant are bright. I don't feel this person is wanting to hurt you. I don't feel they're wanting to show you like a side of themselves that they don't. Yeah, no, Tower and Mirrors. on the Eight of Pentacles here. This is very scary for some because you feel like there's so much here that you don't know about your past, but then you feel like it is there. It remains. It's still relevant. Like, this is for some. This is for some. Some of you feel like you never really had an experience of knowing what it felt like to be empowered as a female with masculine energy simultaneously. And this is something here for some, possibly, that is part of the equation. Like, it's not that we don't know really, how do we say, it's not that we don't know what it is, it's that we've never really taken ourselves there to experience it, at least. Yeah, this is for some. So there's something we need to really get down to. I hear that Page of Pentacles on the Eight of Wands, but it begins with you. For some of you, maybe this is rehab, or this is something that you want to rehabilitate, definitely. Is this something you want to purge even like the energy space of? You want to maybe clear the energy of with the Seven of Cups, Page of Pentacles. For some of you, I see, yeah. I feel like you know what this is. Like, it's almost as if you feel like it's inevitable. I kind of got a vibe like, I know that that's like also okay, like that's also something I want to like heal or talk, like that's something I want to talk about, but are you, wait, but like are you doing that? It's something like that. Yeah, let's clear it. I do think that this comes down to meditation with a crown chakra, realizing that no experience defines you. Okay, nothing really that you carry with your luggage. With your luggage, interesting. Not even in it. It's not in my luggage. It's like I'm carrying it for somebody else. Maybe take it as you will. In my hand at a certain point. Let's clear it. It's not really mine. It's not me. Okay, but it is a decision, and so I make that at least known. Okay, so sometimes it's, yeah. You want to clarify your intention. I hear that as well with the Queen of Swords and the Hierophant. Like, yeah, this is healing the root chakra. I feel like some of you've had past lives where there was this very like rudimented like theme of marriage. Maybe, I don't know, like, very traditional kind of with the Hierophant and the King of Pentacles, and it was really really kind of disempowering of the Empress energy possibly at a certain point in time, and it felt like, well, if there is the Emperor, there is not the Empress, which is very backwards, kind of, right? The Emperor and the Empress, like, they are to be one with one another. So, but then there is like this feeling, it just cuts out of the Queen and the Father Wands, like, but then there is this energy of like, like, but then wait, like, hold on, let's clear it. But then it's like, that's not where it's at. The disempowered Emperor, ultimately, by way of disempowering the Empress, is not where it's at. But then it's like, where's the bravery to really step into that space where you say, I am the Empress. I don't have to be the Queen of Swords upright to get what I want. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, Queen of Swords is not bad. It's just, I don't think that's what you want in this scenario. It's more like, because even if you so-called got what you wanted, then it's like, I see a little bit of like a terrorizing energy with the Three of Cups upright, Queen of Swords upright. It's like, then you feel kind of like you're the Queen of Swords. Like, congratulations. It's like, okay, I got my answer. Okay, I got this. Oh, but I don't think that would heal what it is that you feel you really need. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't want it. This is really what it's like. I don't want to hear I love you because I forced it out of them. I pried it out of them. You know what I'm saying? So the question is, what is your relationship with the Empress upright? What does that look like? Do you have a relationship with the Empress upright? Is there something here that you feel you have neglected when it comes to empowering that energy? Do you feel like you can't be the Empress upright unless you have an Emperor? And if so, what does the Emperor look like to you? Is the Emperor somebody who disempowers the Empress? So this is the kind of psychology, maybe it's definitely possibly past life, but I feel like this is more social, or even like watching how other people operate in their relationships. Let's clear it, possibly. Or it could just be, something kind of like trauma based, like maybe you were married, and yeah, so I feel the heart chakra here is definitely on the line here like this. Let's pull further. Yeah, okay. So this is, I think it's going to come back to like abandonment, the concept of that. And it's not a scary thing unless we don't identify that we have sort of programmed it to be something scary, if that makes sense. To go back and say, where did I sort of underline, highlight with a red highlighter and say that's something dangerous? Okay. If someone so-called, if there was abandonment, it doesn't change who you are. The Empress is always the Empress, yet again, because she's not dependent on the Emperor. Take it as you will. So I hope that answers your question. Like, I see that this is something, like this. Let's move into the next stack. Third stack, the last stack. Let's clear it. Any other clues really quickly in the second stack? Yeah. Some of you, there's something physical going on. Maybe there are some things that it's like you want confirmation, you want validation of, like, I see you actively like putting down your Empress energy, like you feel sort of like maybe not attractive, not beautiful, something like this, like, but I see you consciously doing that, like, and I'm hearing it's not about that. I'm just kind of hearing it like this. So maybe wanting to be aware of that. Third stack, Wheel of Fortune upright. Let's clear the energy. Let's clear the energy. The Magician upright. Okay. Some of you are really paranoid about a lot of things here with the Wheel of Fortune. We're going to have to take a look into that. For some of you, there is something of a number of things maybe that somebody has. Okay. Okay. So there is something here. I feel like you are not ready to confront. Maybe you know something is going on here. This is for some. Let's clear the energy. Four of Swords, the Two of Pentacles. Some of you feel like you know exactly what's going on, but you're not leaving the situation. This is what I'm hearing for some of you. This is like a classic Neptune shadow energy where it's like, okay, I'm remaining in a situation where I know that the intention here is to literally drain me. This is for some, or there's no intention at all, and I'm literally still clinging on to a situation that is not offering me anything. This is for some. This can be something that has a business side to it. Hangman. There we go. The Hangman. Pisces, Neptune, 12th house, Knight of Cups at the base of that. Some of you here, this might be... Okay, but let's get further into their energy. The Magician upright. Yeah, I feel like this... Whoever you're dealing with, maybe they're kind of really impersonal with you. That might be a clue that this is your stack. Maybe they have things that they haven't talked to you about. They're not ready to talk to you about, but you know that that's something going on. It could be related to their career. There is definitely a shadow side here. I am getting that here with the Magician upright and the Two of Wands in reverse, or there's something you don't respect about this person's storyline. I don't know. Maybe you kind of know what their history is like, and you just cannot come through with like respect for that. This is what I'm getting when you take it as well. Let's clear the energy, love, and light to everybody here. Yeah, Seven of Swords for sure. It's like I'm going to paint the picture. You may be the so-called, like, a so-called other person to somebody. It's like, or this is even a business. I don't know what that's about, but I see that there is like an energy of codependence for sure, in some sense, on the idea of what that is to you both. It's let's clear it. You're not ready. They're not ready. Okay. There's a lot of manipulation here. Love and light. There's a lot of gaslighting, manipulation. There is a lot of like, how is this going to work though? It's like you feel like you need them to get you out of the trap. What the hell is that? Please, let's get more clues on that. Magician upright, the Hermit in reverse. Something about timing. You feel like maybe you owe this person, or there's something that you both need to clear as karma. Can we have more clues on that, Spirit? Empress in reverse. Six of Swords in reverse. We got the Empress in reverse in every one of these stacks. This is taking everybody, and we got pulled it in a different stack. This is pulling in a different deck. This is pulling us back to the divine Empress energy, divine feminine energy. Some of you you're shy to be empowered. This is what I'm hearing. To show who you are to this person, and maybe, well, for some of you, there's something in the... Okay. Either they have something like so-called fame, they got something like status, they got something like finances, reputation. Something is intimidating subconsciously when it comes to you moving on your path and clearing and cutting this cord. I think if you chose this stack, you know that this is a cord that you want to clear and cut. I feel there's no question really about that. Like, if you were to write an answer out on a test, you'd be like, oh, that's the right answer. Yeah, King of Pentacles in reverse. Like, this is actually not even something respected by you, attractive to you. It's not something that you really, I'm hearing it's maybe religious even. It's like, I don't want to be involved in this. For some of you, it might be something codependent, like, how do we say, either it's even with your family or it's with a prearranged marriage. Yeah. This is like a bullying energy, even a certain, this is not fair. Yeah, we got the second Hangman. Some of you here are definitely, this is a Neptune, like, you feel kind of like, well, you know that this is, yeah, you don't really know even who is who where. Some of you are with multiple men. I hear this. I just hear that. Or multiple individuals. Yeah, third King of Wands. Some of you don't want to be here. I hear that. You don't want to be with them. Yeah, and you know this is not for you. But then it's maybe a matter, I almost get this feeling like you want to escape. If this is resonating, you guys, can you hit the escape? The like button in there. I see. Thank you guys. Wow, 176 likes. Thank you guys so much for your likes. Yeah, Nine of Cups in reverse, on the Fool in reverse. Let's go. You've maybe tried to get out of the situation. Is there, I hope there's not a health side to this. If they're like providing you with certain things, or there's some kind of under the influence energy, you take it as you will. Let's clear it, the energy. Hopefully not. Let's clear it. For some of you, they put you down, Queen of Swords upright. They kind of like made you feel like you cannot be on your own. This is not fair. This is not nice. Let's clear it. Yeah. Temperance upright. Nine of Swords upright. And the Ace of Wands. This is, yeah, surrounding the Empress in reverse. This is like, you know that you can be, let's clear it. You want to go on your own. You want to go on your own. I hope there's not violence involved. You should definitely seek assistance, okay? Definitely seek assistance. This is for some of you. The Ace of Wands upright and the Hangman. There's something very uncomfortable here. I hear that. It's like maybe you associate kind of embarking on your own path with some kind of tragedy. Hermit in reverse. It could be your relationship to a certain industry as well. The Lovers in reverse. Yeah. Okay, this is possibly a passive energy. Like there was a moment where maybe, for example, you were prosecuted for being who you wanted to be. I hear it like this, the Hangman. Okay, like maybe, for example, like you're a witch in the wit trial, for example. I'm just hearing that. It's like, so you associate subconsciously, okay, inadvertently, this sort of like, it's like it's a discrepancy between your diet. I hear again, diet. It's like, maybe, for example, yeah, well, something that you would want and the needs of others. Some of you are operating through like a program that is, yeah, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This has got some pretty, there are some Machiavelli frequencies here with the Queen of, yeah, is that what they say? Machiavellian? Yeah. Like you feel pulled into the power of this like system. Let's clear it. It's very draconian. Something, yeah, but then you know it, but then it's like part of your, I don't know, let's clear it. Maybe this is with your, yeah, Hierophant reverse for sure. This is something underground, possibly. Let's clear the energy. It's possibly something underground. It's like, you know, you don't agree with this, but then you're still involved in this situation. Let's clear it. You're still here. Is this reading helpful? For how many of you is this resonating? I'm getting in the third stack here in the chat. By the way, thank you for your super chat. Who was that a little while back? It was a yellow bar. Thank you for your support, your super chat. For some of you, you feel bound to this Four Swords of Right. The Star in reverse, possibly. Let's clear it. You have to move. Maybe you have to physically move. Yes, the Knight of Wands of Right. Some of you are thinking of maybe even like taking on help from another. It's like maybe you want to live with someone who's kind of like more open-minded. I hear that, but they were willing to take you in. Six of Cups. Like I get the feeling like at least it. Yeah, I get the feeling of at least it would be real love. I hear it like this, even if they're not like of this culture, of that status, of this religion, of that belief system, of these, you know, financial, you know, tiers. Yeah. Some of you, you want to be who you want to be. You feel you cannot be who you want to be where you're currently at. So yes. And so it's like you realize, well, I'm not going to change these people. And I think that you're at the point where you don't want to. That's not, yeah, let's clear it. That's not what you want to do. Yeah, that's not your world. So, so it's like you want to move somewhere. I keep hearing that. Yeah, so it could, yeah, you want to sort of understand what you resonate with. I hope this is helpful. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. Thank you so much, Miss Viva, for your donation. Love and light. Yeah, I saw that there, your super chat. You guys have a lovely Scorpio season. These energies are very intense here. You know, don't underestimate the work that Spirit asked of us to do here when we do have so many planets in Scorpio. We're really working with the subconscious. This is a period of purging. You know, just observe what comes up. So we'll see you